What up, Shakers? You probably noticed something a little different about my face today. That's right, I'm smiling because I'm here with my very close friend, Carol. Yeah, I knew that. And today, we are going to learn you some stuff. I thought we were going to say it together. Snapchat filters are a facial recognition database developed by the FBI.
Because the body is 70% water, it is impossible to burn to death.
Girls buy 65 times more shampoo than bald people.
Gingers really do have souls, according to gingers.
In Spider-Man Homecoming, it establishes that it takes place 8 years after the Avengers. But in Infinity War, Iron Man states that it's only been 6 years.
There's a monster in your closet, but it won't come out because it's afraid of what society will think.
The universe is roughly 93 billion light years, or 5.5 times 10 to the 23 miles long, which is roughly 4 times the size of your mom.
Left-handed people are 5 times better at video games than people with no hands.
I'm not wearing deodorant right now.
The coffee your teacher drinks every morning isn't coffee, it's children's tears.
I am going to get a lot of hate comments under this video.
The reason you can't believe it's not butter is because it actually is butter, and you can't believe anything the government tells you.
Scientists predict that in the near future, I'm gonna die alone.
There are 2 types of countries in this world. Those that have invented anime, and those that have not been nuked twice.
It doesn't matter if you're male, female, black, white, gay, or straight, because deep down, we all know that Adam Sandler hasn't made a good movie since 2002.
While generally frowned upon, it's technically not illegal to yell curse words at a baby.
The greatest thing ever created by man is Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog, Fight Me.
A hippo can fit an entire child in its mouth. I've seen it.
I have never felt the touch of a woman. Oh, thank you!
I didn't vaccinate my children, and the one that survived turned out just fine.
People born 10 years ago are now 23 years old. Let that sink in.
The longest word in the English language is yad.
Guns don't kill people. I do.
The tallest man in the world is really tall.
Furries like to hang out in large groups because it makes them feel more accepted. It also makes genocide easier.
I lost the game.
If you're a twin, that means one of you was an accident. If you're 1 in a million, that means there's about 7,000 people exactly like you.
Nobody really cares if Daryl dies anymore.
If you count the number of hairs on your head, you really need a new hobby.
According to all known laws of aviation, there's no way a bee should be a...
There is an entire religion dedicated to Danny DeVito. If you have a Minecraft gaming channel, your parents don't love you.
Every year, more people are killed by hoverboards than by sharks.
Halo games have less to do with actual Halos each game.
Believe it or not, some people actually voted for Hillary.
There's a 60% chance that you're watching this on the toilet. The average woman says about 7,000 words per day. The average man hears about 10 of them.
If you see the same meme twice while you're scrolling through your Instagram feed,
it's an omen of death.
Cubes have 6 faces, and my ex has 2.
Soylent Green is people.
According to this week's horoscope, the position of the stars and planets don't mean anything. Get a life.
When Queen Elizabeth dies, Big Ben will explode and time will cease altogether.
You actually see your nose at all times. Your brain just chooses to ignore it. Much like how your crush chooses to ignore you.
Don't have a fire extinguisher in your house? Just use hairspray.
The Trix Rabbit was arrested for first-degree murder of a child who refused to give him cereal. He had it coming.
Your first birthday is actually your second birthday.
Had Finding Nemo been scientifically accurate, when Nemo's mom died, Marlin would have changed genders and mated with his son. Okay.
You have never actually looked at your own neck. And you never will.
If you see a guy's fly down, don't embarrass him by telling him. Just politely walk up to him and zip it up for him.
The Tide Pod eating epidemic stems from parents washing their children's mouths out with soap.
Your right hand has never touched your right elbow. And it never will. How does that make you feel? Burying your sibling isn't actually as bad as it seems, according to a recent study at the University of Alabama.
Walt Disney called Hitler a neato-mosquito.
The reason aliens will destroy the Earth someday is because they believe we're racist for choosing the same species every year for the Miss Universe contest.
A the Titanic was an inside job.
Syrup is thicker than blood. Therefore, pancakes matter more than family. If you put your ear up to a person's leg, you can hear them say, "Dude, what the f-?"
You can save water by peeing in the sink.
You can't say bubbles in an angry voice. Actually, you can. I just think it's funny that you started saying bubbles to a screen.
Most spiders are invisible.
Studies show that if you watch TV with the volume on an odd number, you're a psychopath.
Before Isaac Newton discovered gravity, people could fly.
The Fitness Gram Pacer test is a multi-stage aerobic capacity test that progressively gets more
Mr. Rogers was a member of the Viet Cong.
Every corpse on Mount Everest was once a very motivated person. Look where that got them. In some parts of Wyoming, it's perfectly legal to hunt the elderly.
The reason there is only a flat Earth society is because all other planets have been proven to be round.
Social psychologists have discovered that suicide rates drop when radio stations stop playing country music.
Speed limits are just a recommendation.
Dan and Phil aren't a couple. Sorry, Tumblr. The Mandela effect was named after Nelson Mandela because he never actually existed.
Lobsters pee out of their faces.
Everybody on the internet named Jacob is untalented.
The word poop was derived from the Latin word poop, meaning poop.
There are more nipples in the world than people.
This is what Jake looks like in a dress.
President George W. Bush accidentally locked himself out of the Oval Office 17 times during his presidency.
The color yellow was invented as a way for white people to answer the phone.
In Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1, at 1 hour, 50 minutes, and 23 seconds, Ron says the phrase, "Twilight's fine. Better, actually." The very first YouTube video posted has been taken down because it goes against their terms of service.
I snuck 20 grams of VX into Jake's drink before we started filming.
Have you ever noticed that when you dream in the dream I'm gonna take a nap.